Hey there, BookTube. Noah, thank you for joining me. We're at the tail end. I only have 2 shelves to go through and finish up my books. But also, they're some of the more densely packed shelves. So we'll just get to it. So up top here, I'm not going to shift the camera because it's on my daughter's bed, actually. These 2 shelves sit back in the back bedroom of the house. So up top here, I have a to be read box that is just things that I like, and some of it I have gone through, but most of it I haven't. That just aren't a pressing kind of thing. So one of the things that I haven't gone through, but piqued my interest, Johnny Cash, Man in White. This is him writing a novel about the Apostle Paul and his affinity for Paul's story. He saw himself as kind of a modern day Paul. But okay, so I have a facsimile of George Wither, A Collection of Emblems. This is a very interesting book. This is just a collection of emblems, a little, symbolic seals kind of thing, and then a whole thing written, a whole thing written about each one. Very alchemical, something of that nature. I just picked it up in a used bookstore. It looked very interesting. This is published for the Newberry Library by the University of South Carolina Press. George Wither put this out in 1635, and like I said, a facsimile reproduction. Just some interesting stuff. Not very spiritual, and definitely not pointedly alchemical, but using that kind of imagery. So this is a short work, Robert Lawler's Sacred Geometry, Philosophy and Practice. This just goes through a lot of sacred geometry and applications in history, but also modern mathematic geometrical ideas and how they relate to universal mathematics. The question: are we discovering math, or are we creating math? So I'm just gonna go through them, and I'm gonna pull out some that are interesting. I have The Magic Garden of George B. and Other Logic Puzzles. Pretty cool. The Religion of the Founding Fathers by David Holmes. Daniel Quinn, Beyond Civilization, and Ishmael. If you have never read it, this is a great little work on kind of spiritual idea, but just reconciling your intellectual mind with an actual presence in the world. If Life is a Game, These Are the Rules. That is Carrie Carter Scott. Eats, Shoots, and Leaves by Lynn Truss. Now this is just a fun linguistic romp right here. A very, very fun book. I'm actually going to pull that out just to keep it. I love to thumb through that one. I have The Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot. Snow Crash by Neil Stevenson up there. Bret Easton Ellis, Lunar Park. He's the writer of American Psycho, but I've never read this one. More of I think of an autobiographical kind of work right there. Not sure though. One Heartbeat Away. It's a look at near-death experiences. So I've thumbed through it. I haven't read it proper. So looks very interesting. Catcher in the Rye, The Time Machine, H.G. Wells. A small book of on Salinger, J.D. Salinger. So, just a critical and personal portrait by more than 20 foremost writers and critics. A lot of writers just in this small volume, just writing on J.D. Salinger. Some Peter Marshall, Letters of the Scattered Brotherhood. This looks like a little book on prayer or something like that. Not a mystical, more like I got Meta Psychology, The Tree of Knowledge, And then Man and Time, which is really big. I'm not going to pull down. But here, top shelf, I have poetry. Mostly poetry, but we'll just go through it. Elizabeth Gorge, A Book of Pearls, or a Book of Peace. Poetry of Robert Frost. This is all 11 of his books complete. So not in a sense of all of his stuff, I don't think, but all 11 of his major books all in one volume. William Wordsworth. I love Wordsworth. Just a selected poems right there. Collected poems of Emily Dickinson. I have believe this is a Barnes and Noble edition. I like these nice bindings when I can get them. Yeah, Barnes and Noble books. Pretty cool. The Form of Poetry by Thomas Arp. This is an old book. I've had it ever since I was a little kid. I say a little kid. High school. Sappho and the Greek lyric poets. I love Sappho. Amazing. A 1,000-Mile Walk to the Gulf. John Muir. O'Neill's Long Day's Journey into Night. I got Harold Broadkey, The Runaway Soul. Now I haven't read that, but it looks great. So I have not experienced it. Maybe should just pull that out and keep that on a TBR because every time I see it, I want to read it. Metaphysical poets, John Milton, John Donne, all this kind of metaphysical poetry. Something I picked up a long time ago. I got a McSweety's Quarterly, issue 5, Crossing the Water, Sylvia Plath. I got Leonard Cohen's Beautiful Losers. Beautiful poetry, Leonard Cohen. I got Self-Portrait in a Convex Mirror, John Ashbery. We got Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass. I got a copy of Shakespeare's Macbeth. The Three Witches there. Call to Conscience. This is the landmark speeches of Dr. Martin Luther King. Might as well just pull that out. I'll revisit that for the Black History Month coming up. Everybody reading, African American authors. Might as well throw it in there. The Yellow Wallpaper. A landmark work. Charlotte Perkins Gilman. If you've never experienced The Yellow Wallpaper, please. It's really, really short. You will thank yourself for it. I got a Cliff Notes on Atlas Shrugged because I dislike the book, and if I want to kind of reference something, then I'll go ahead and just kind of get my bearings with that. I'm not a Ayn Rand fan, The Virtue of Selfishness, please. Okay. I got a small book, Everyman's Library Pocket Classics, Sylvia Plath and T.S. Eliot. Pocket Book of Modern Verse. This is just some modern poetry. And then we have some more, I have a few dictionaries there. Thesaurus, a dictionary for students. Dinosaur Encyclopedia. Got that, just so I can show my youngest, some pictures of dinosaurs when she asks. And then I have The Language of Genes. This is a book on genetics, obviously. Solving the Mysteries of Our Genetic Past, Present, and Future. It was good, readable. I got into genetics for a little while, just to, gain some knowledge on it. My favorite chess book of all time, Bobby Fischer Teaches Chess. If you've never read it, go ahead. It's not words. It tells you, the ideas and how to play, how to move the pieces and stuff like that, and then tells you the tactic, and then it's just problems, chess problems. Give you a problem, the answer's on the back, the next page. Bam. And then give you another problem, answers on the next page. And it just goes a little bit harder, not harder, but a little bit more in depth as you go along. And by the end of it, you've learned and seen every single way that you can checkmate the enemy king on the board. It is by far the most impactful chess book that I've ever read. I've read it over and over, gone through it over and over, and I've gotten better every single time. I have Andrew Soltis, The Inner Game of Chess. This was really good. I got my little chess bookmark in there. I just keep it, keep it in there. I'm not really holding a spot in there. I've read through it. I got The Complete Chess Course by Fred Reinfeld. This is just a huge everything about tactics and ways to look at the board and big ideas about what you're trying to do. A big book, but pretty good. One of the more modern chess books that I got is How to Reassess Your Chess. Jeremy Silman. Now he played on chess.com for a while. I've never played with him. He's way beyond my level as far as my rating, so I'd never get matched up with somebody like him. But this book really gives you a good idea if you play chess and you're kind of on an intermediate level and you want to just get better and you don't know why you're not, you kind of hit a plateau. This is for you. Everybody hits that plateau in chess, and you have to muscle through it. You got to see, well, what is it that I'm thinking of that's, So, certain opening, Secret of the Sicilian Dragon. A Sicilian Dragon is a certain opening for black in chess. That's just a book exploring that opening and the ideas. Kasparov in Deep Blue. This goes through every match from Garry Kasparov in Deep Blue. That's the first chess computer that definitively beat the world champion at the time, Garry Kasparov, and it rocked the world. But now no human on the planet could beat even a relatively simple chess engine. They're just on another level. We can't calculate the way that they do. The chess computers do, but they can't play like we do, really. So the world's great chess games, Ribbon Fine. This is an awesome work. Just great games, and me and a buddy would sit around and just pick one, randomly, and then just play each one on the board with each other and just think. No, not look at the next move, just think. What are they doing? Why that move, And we'd get something out of it, That's the way to go through a book like that. Logical Chess, Move by Move. Another old book that I went through, getting my bearings in the chess world. I have a book on the human body, biological book, bioinformatics, genetics. Some of these are books from college that I loved, that I kept, and some of them are textbooks actually that I just picked up to because I wanted more information on the subject. I never took a genetics course in college, so I all the genetics is something that came afterwards. But some of the things like In Quest for the Universe, the astrology book here, I did take a course on that one. It was for a college course, but some of them are and some of them are not. Encyclopedia of Astronomy. This has a lot of wonderful pictures in it of bodies in our solar system and out. Book of the Body, The Way Things Work. Logic and Critical Thinking. Critical Thinking, 5th edition. That was my favorite college course that I've ever taken. Logic and Critical Thinking. Homework was, even if you don't watch any TV, I want you to watch TV tonight, at least one commercial break. One commercial break, that's all you need to watch. And bring me 3 logical fallacies that are shown to you in that commercial break. Things like straw man, things like just arguments that don't hold up to logic. They're everywhere. Democracy Under Pressure is a American history book from college. Universe in a Nutshell by Stephen Hawking. Early Islam. The Age of the God Kings. This is on Egyptian and sacred sites in and around Egypt. Mysteries of the Ancient Americas. The Universe. Voyage Through the Universe. Stars. So this is just an exploration of stars, different types and their classifications and stuff. Astrology. Big book on astrology. History, Symbols and Signs, Mally Nestle. Just glanced through it, not really, used it for any big study or anything like that. Atlas of Mysterious Places, Ancient China, and then I have a 3-book set on Civil War history, William C. Davis. This I was, really into. These, are old. I was high school when I was into that kind of thing. So I'm just checking it here. Thank you guys. Let me see if I can get you facing down a little bit more. Okay. All right, we got 2 more shelves on that bookshelf to do. So I think I'm just going to do the little side piece here because that finishes up science, scientific and historic, whatever. We have physics, astronomy, and mathematics, just a reference book for me for physics, astronomy, and mathematics. A world treasure. Guns, Germs, and Steel. I have not worked through this. A buddy turned me onto it, and that's just where it had found its home in the shelf. I have not read it, but Fates of Human Society is kind of a historical exploration. Isaiah Berlin, The Proper Study of Mankind, anthology of his essays. The Solar System, Brian Greene's The Elegant Universe and the Fabric of the Cosmos. So that'll finish up that just my science section. After that is more religious texts. I have Eastern religions on the second shelf here. More Hindu. And then on the next shelf down, Taoism and Scientology and some Egyptian. And so we'll start there next time. Thank you for joining me, BookTube. Happy reading.